Listen. Can you feel the subtle electric hum beneath the ordinary sounds of your room? That vibration has followed humanity since the first spark of awareness flashed behind prehistoric eyes. Tonight, we trace that spark back through forbidden tablets and quiet hypnotic regressions guided by the fearless researcher Dolores Cannon and the cosmic detective Billy Carson. Together, they insist that what we name reality is a thin, shimmering veil draped over a universe so multidimensional it can barely be whispered. Their message is urgent. You are not a passive passenger. Your consciousness is the sculptor of worlds. Breathe deeply, loosen the grip of everyday certainty, and prepare to remember things your soul never forgot. Long before cities glittered, the first storytellers carved creation myths into clay. The Sumerian Enuma Elish and Genesis echo the same thunderous premise: a cosmic artisan shaping land, water, and a being fashioned in the image of infinity. Cannon's regression transcripts paint that artisan not as a distant monarch, but as an orchestra of advanced intelligences seeding life worlds across the spiral arms. Carson decodes the tale further, claiming those architects used genetic geometry rather than brute force, folding light into matter the way origami masters. Birth cranes from blank paper. If true, your very cells hum with star-born algorithms waiting to be reactivated. In a village on the Anatolian plateau, an elder tells of shining ones who arrived in boats of sound. They touched a child's forehead, and his thoughts blossomed into floating glyphs that guided the harvest. The glyphs faded only when the people chose fear over wonder. Picture your pineal gland, a crystal seed behind the brows, bathed in cerebrospinal fluid like an antenna in holy water. Cannon's hypnotic voyagers recall lifetimes where that crystal was the size of a grape, not a grain, pulsing emerald, light through telepathic civilizations. Carson points to megaliths whose quartz chambers may have amplified that inner signal, letting priests converse across miles without a spoken word. Modern neuroscientists now concede the pineal contains magnetite, nanocompasses that feel the planet's field. Have we downsized our own crown through centuries of disbelief? Each nightly dream is a postcard from that forgotten empire begging to be read. Stand before the Great Pyramid at midnight. Orion's belt hangs perfectly above its edges as if the stars themselves signed the blueprint. Archaeologists see limestone. Carson sees a petrified equation, mapping light speed, Earth's curvature, even orbital precession with decimal precision. Similar signatures appear at Teotihuacan, Göbekli Tepe, and Angkor Wat, sites continents apart, yet locked to the same stellar grid. Dolores's subjects describe master builders who encoded astrophysics in stone so future children would one day remember the sky from which they fell. We, the forgetful heirs, post selfies and walk on. But tonight, we pause, necks craned, decoding the silent geometry overhead. A Mayan scribe notes a comet's return every 52 years. He records that its tail is a serpent ladder on which priests climb in vision quests. Modern astronomers call it Halley's Comet. Different language, same riddle. Trace your fingertip around the Bashi flower of life. Intersecting circles, birthing hexagons, tetrahedra, and spirals, mother shapes of snowflakes and galaxies alike. Without knowing calculus, temple artists sketched quantum field diagrams. The pattern whispers that energy flows in toroidal loops, forever returning to source. Physicists now model electrons as probability clouds, shaped exactly so. Coincidence or ancestral footnote to future science? Carson urges us to wear the glyph in meditation, letting its symmetry entrain heartbeats with cosmic rhythm. Try it. Feel anxiety melt as your pulse sinks to a dance older than timepieces. If a two-dimensional cartoon could gaze upward, a sphere passing through its plane would look like a growing, then shrinking circle. Likewise, a sun tesseract, sliding through our three-dimensional realm, might appear as a morphing, impossible cube. String theorists map 10, perhaps 11 such layers. Cannon's regressions speak of souls stepping in and out as casually as we cross doorways. Those angels of Scripture? Interdimensional travelers mastering frequency, not feathered wings. When intuition jolts you to avoid a street a moment before danger, perhaps a higher self is whispering from that staircase above. During Study, a pilot reports a metallic orb dancing through his cockpit glass without shattering it. Military files label it Foo Fighter. Mystics call it a scout from the fourth dimension, checking on its rambunctious cousins below. Einstein frowned at spooky action at a distance. Yet experiments prove entangled photons mirror each other, faster than light. What laboratory lasers reveal, shamans depicted as silver cords tying dreamers to stars. If every cell in your body once blazed inside a supernova, perhaps particles still gossip across interstellar space, keeping family secrets. Meditation is then less escape than a conference call with ancient cousins in foreign galaxies. When gratitude floods your chest, you broadcast that frequency across light years, tweaking reality in places unseen. Imagine history shelved, like DVDs in a cosmic library. Past, present, future, simultaneous discs waiting for the laser of attention. Hypnotic subjects under Cannon slide between shelves, reliving Atlantis at noon and 2450 CE after lunch. Quantum equations allow such block time where now is a local illusion created by consciousness crawling along the film strip. If a higher dimensional being hovers above, every frame is visible at once. Prophets might simply borrow that loftier vantage, returning with headlines we call prophecy. What headlines will you write if you climb the ladder of awareness tonight? In 1896, Nikola Tesla dreams of a glowing wheel and patents the AC motor the next day. Was it genius or a peek at a future blueprint already shelved? Schoolyards threaten failing grades, dogmas threaten eternal flames, fear herds minds like sheep. Cannon and Carson insist the shepherd's whistle is optional, the gate is unlocked from the inside. The moment a human heart radiates unconditional love, the acoustic signature scrambles fear's frequency, dissolving invisible chains. That is why revolutions begin not with fists, but with songs echoing in town squares. Real liberation is vibrational, not political, and it starts in the private parliament of your thoughts. Physics labels energy E, biology calls it ATP, mystics call it Chi. All synonyms for the juice that sculptors use. Thoughts are blueprints. Emotion is the electric current hardening those plans into matter. Masaru Emoto froze. Water after spoken blessings, crystals formed perfect snowflakes. After curses, jagged chaos. Your bloodstream is 55% water. Imagine the architecture you carve with every internal monologue. Speak kindness to your cells and they reorganize like disciplined dancers. Gene switches flip, immunity rises. This is epigenetics wearing a halo. A cancer patient visualizes immune cells as golden knights. Tumor markers plummet. Doctors shrug. Coincidence or conscious design? HeartMath Institute detects an electromagnetic pulse 30 times stronger than the brain's, radiating meters beyond skin. When two people hug for 20 seconds, their heart waves entrain like synchronized metronomes. Ancient Sufis spun in ecstatic dance to expand that field until the desert night shimmered. Cannon says whirling cracked open the pineal crown. Carson notes that spinning electrons generate magnetic moments shaping reality. Perhaps every embrace warps space-time a hair's breadth toward harmony. Embrace more. In Keepers of the Garden, Dolores relays souls who claim they volunteered to safeguard Earth's eco-web after Atlantis drowned. They remember planting vortices, energy fountains, beneath jungles and waterfalls to stabilize climate. Modern satellites indeed map magnetic anomalies at those very coordinates. Could whales' songs and bees' dances be encoded maintenance scripts passed down from those volunteers? If so, every act of ecological stewardship you choose today may update a planetary operating system written eons ago. Aboriginal elders recite dreamtime tales where they sing rivers into existence during walkabout. Geologists now prove acoustic vibration accelerates crystalline water pathways in rock. Myth merges with manual. Shamans drink ayahuasca and report vines turning into ladders through which jaguar-skinned teachers descend. MRI scans show synchronized gamma waves identical to Tibetan monks in deep samadhi. Perhaps the potion isn't the doorway. It merely unlocks a biological key already forged in cerebrospinal alchemy. Integration is grounded action. Kinder. Conversations, regenerative farming, art that heals. Higher realms applaud only when revelations fertilize soil under our feet. Every alphabet began as pictures. Hieroglyph for sun was a circle with a dot. Today, physicists draw electrons orbiting nuclei the same way. Cannon's clients speak of light tongues, vibrating syllables that rearrange molecular lattices. When monks chant Om, spectrum analyzers display golden ratios surfacing in the sound wave. Words are tuning fork. Recite gratitude and furniture seems to glow. Curse traffic and red lights multiply. Your mouth is a myth forge. Use it wisely. Legends say King Solomon commanded the wind with a secret name of God. Hebrew gematria translates that name to 341p, geometry, again singing through consonants. Silicon chips mimic synapses, yet consumption often numbs empathy. Future tech, Carson suggests, must encode compassion as a default protocol. Imagine VR suits amplifying heart fields so gamers feel global forests grieving when set aflame. Investors balk, profits smile. Conscious design could pivot civilization from extraction to guardianship. The blueprint waits for coders who meditate before writing a single loop. Great movements start within the chest, not at ballot boxes. When Gandhi spun cotton, he dismantled imperial anthems with a wheel. When Rosa Parks refused a seat transfer, she realigned national karma. What humble act can you perform today that ripples across entangled hearts tomorrow? Close eyes, ask softly. The answer arrives on breath's tide, then act. Consciousness wields power when anchored in deed. A single monk faced tanks in Tiananmen Square. Empty palms raised. Cameras captured it. Billions felt a silent earthquake. Proof that stillness can be seismic. Russian biophysicists manipulate DNA strands using modulated laser light and spoken words, documenting helices twisting open like morning glories. If language truly edits biology, affirmations are not cheesy slogans, but software patches. Speak, I am resilient, and leukocytes sharpen swords. Speak "I'm always sick" and they retreat. Epigenetic toggles click with each sentence. Cannon's subjects were taught mantras that glowed violet in their mind's eye. Chanting them healed ruptured auras visible in Kirlian photos. We are walking keyboards. What symphony will your keystrokes compose? Scientists measuring electromagnetic spectra of emotions find gratitude peaks at 528 Hz, the so-called miracle frequency used to repair damaged DNA in vitro. When you recall a moment of pure affection, your heart tunes to that wavelength automatically. If a choir of 8 billion held that note for 10 seconds, maybe tectonic plates would hum in harmony and conflicts expire like mist. Improbable? Yes. Impossible? Nothing is in a holographic universe. During the 1993 Washington, D.C. meditation experiment, violent crime dropped 23%. Statisticians scoffed, but numbers sang hope. Ancient wonders and quantum graphs converge on a single instruction. Imagination is architecture. Visualize oceans cleared of plastic, and entrepreneurs will appear with bacterial enzymes. Envision education that rewards curiosity over rote, and syllabi will rewrite themselves. The new Earth is not scheduled by governments. It dawns the instant enough dreamers agree upon coordinates. Revolutions of the mind are borderless and tax-free. Now exhale. Feel the hush after thunder. That is the moment when insight crystallizes into resolve. You have toured pyramids of light, conversed with future selves, and glimpsed a cosmos braided with love. The veil is thinner, your steps will sound different tomorrow. Carry these keys: unconditional love, fearless curiosity, deliberate thought, into every hallway of your life. Share them freely. For when one soul remembers, 1,000 others stir. Subscribe to this channel, ring the bell, and join a fellowship crafting reality by design, not default. Comment below. What quantum truth will you live starting today? Thank you for traveling the hidden pathways with us. Until next time, keep your heart on 528 Hz and your eyes on the stars, because the greatest mystery is the one unfurling inside all you.